All right, rolling right back into the next project. I can't even say next project because I have so many, but super excited to take a look at this kit right out of the box. This kit is a collaboration between Hasegawa and Freedom Models. It is a limited edition kit, and it is based on one of my favorite anime series and mangas of all time, Area-88. It's awesome. It's old. It's from the 80s, 90s era, but it's such a cool story if you don't know about it. It is a mercenary foreign legion air force in a fictional country in the Middle East. It is so cool. And you know what? You can watch for free on YouTube the entire it's about 3 hours long, the whole thing. And you know what? I'm gonna put a link to that in the video description if you have not seen it and you would like to, just so you can check it out. But the main star is Shin Kazuma, Japanese commercial pilot, reluctantly turned fighter ace. And that's all I'm going to tell you. There are some differences between the actual the anime series and the manga, if you know, but I mean, it's just so cool. They do such great work with the accuracy, not 100%, but great work with the accuracy of the aircraft and getting the details right and everything. They have the F-14, always flown by just one crew member all the time, but I mean, it's really cool. It's really cool. Shin Kazuma rotates through several aircraft in the series, but the one that he finishes the TV show out in is the F-20 Tigershark. So this is the Hasegawa 1/48 scale F-20 Tigershark, Area-88. Super excited. I cannot tell you how excited I am to do this. They've got some pictures here. That's Shin's marking. He's got the flaming unicorn. They have some other aircraft in this series that you'll see, you know, whether you look at the books or the animated series, of not only Shin's aircraft, but some other aircraft from the series, which is really cool. But you know what's really exciting? An F-20 Tigershark in 1/48 scale. Now, Monogram had its old aircraft, but, you know, old molding, raised panel lines and stuff. Hasegawa put one out a while ago, and as far as I know, you know, they don't produce that anymore. Then Freedom Models came out and put out a really nice 1/48 F-20 kit, and Hasegawa is using their kit basically in this. So that's why it's limited edition. So let's take a look at what we've got in this kit. And absolutely check out Area-88 if you don't already know about it, because it is just awesome. I'm just trying to get these decals out, and then we'll see. So I have not seen the Freedom Models F-1/48 scale F-20 Tigershark, but the Tigershark is one of my all-time favorite aircraft, and having put in my time and my training in the Air Force and being literally a weapons specialist guy, you know, weapons and tactics specialist, I can tell you, I think that we really lost out by not employing the F-20 Tigershark alongside the F-16 in certain roles. But anyway, we're going to take a look at all the parts. We are going to look at the instructions first. So, it has some blurbs about the history of the F-20. Very typical Hasegawa instructions. You start with your complete parts map. Not a lot of colors that you need to do this. Now, to prep for building this model, just by looking at the colors, I thought that we were going to be working with insignia blue for the blue elements there. I ordered insignia blue. I have insignia blue right here, which is a very standard U.S. Air Force color. They call it signal blue, but that FS number is insignia blue. Turns out that it's actually Blue Angels blue, if you look at the FS number that's in the instructions. So I have that on the way now. But you don't need a whole lot of colors to pull this off. It's going to be some interesting masking to get it done, but very, very standard, you know, cockpit tub putting together, fuselage, nothing that looks just crazy cosmic. Looks like we can work with control surfaces and probably position them if we want. Yeah, process and adjust the angle, so that's pretty cool. I like that. And what else do we have? Now this also comes with you know, a handful of photo etch parts to use. And what's really cool, and I didn't realize this, I ordered some extra Hasegawa armament sets because, you know, although in the video series all they ever shoot off these things are sidewinders, but I thought I might, because the F-20 had the capability, I wanted to put some sparrows on there, so I ordered the weapon set that has sparrows. But looking at this, you know, in the instructions, you've got a healthy choice of air-to-air armaments on this. Just taking a quick glance at the missiles, you know, they provide you, like I said, a lot of the armaments. This notes AIM-120Cs over here. If you take a look at these fins, these are too big to be AIM-120Cs fins, and the forward fins there have an angle. That's not consistent. Those are early model AIM-120s, not AIM-120Cs. And actually, this is an AIM-120C with the clipped fins, and you can compare it. So you're getting, I'm not complaining, you're getting AIM-120As. If you take a look at the difference, because AIM-120Cs, one of the specific differences is they have the clipped fins, so they fit inside internal weapons bays. You know, for F-22 specifically, and then, you know, they'll also fit into F-35 weapons bays. But that's just a small note when they're talking about the AIM-120C. It's cool they give you these options, though, because at the time that the F-20 Tigershark was under development, you would have AIM-120As, not AIM-120Cs. They didn't exist then. But you have lots of armament choices. You have AIM-9Ls, which would be the correct timing. AIM-9Ms, which would be also correct coming online for the F-20 as it went through. AIM-7s, which definitely the F-20 had capability to carry and fire, and early model AIM-120s, you know, it would have worked with. But it's awesome that it gives you all those armament choices. You know, and there's like, you know, you get a Hasegawa air-to-ground armament set if you want, and there's just a whole slew of air-to-ground armament this could carry as well. I was not expecting it to come with all that stuff, though, and all these different launch rail options. So I want this to build the Shin Kazuma Area-88 F-120, but if you know, you could save all of these different launch rail options for all sorts of different projects. That's pretty awesome. So they give you the, you know, the lowdown on where you can mount all these cool things to be realistic. That's just sweet. Let's go ahead and look at the parts now, though. So we've got 4 bags of regular parts. We've got our clear parts, our photo etch, and then our decals. Let's take a look at the decals first. Now, they're pretty nice looking. What do we got? We got decals for instrumentation all in here. And they look pretty good. I don't think I don't know if there's a photo etch set out there. I'll probably just stick with these, though, because I'm not looking for, like, I'm looking more for the exterior look of this plane than the cockpit. I'll do the cockpit up nice, but you've got many choices for how the Flaming Unicorn looked throughout the series. This doesn't actually go anywhere. These markings are interesting because they show it on the model, on the box, but this is, I think they put this here because the F-20 wore that, you know, on the F-20 Tigershark demonstrator that had basically this paint job, but in red, had the F-20 Tigershark marking on the nose. Shin Kazuma's F-20 did not wear that. It was just white on the nose without that. So, I guess you could put that on there if you want, but that's not true per the actual canon of the show, and the manga didn't have that on there. And I'll get screen grabs to as we go through the build to show that's those just don't belong. But good quality decals, nice bright color, everything is in register. I'm wondering if I might do some paint tests just to make sure we're matching. Is that Blue Angel blue? I guess that is probably Blue Angel blue. I don't know, but I might just want to do some paint tests comparing it to the decals to make sure we've got it just right before we commit to a color. Because I'm sorry for the shadow. I only have one set of lights on right now. But, Alright, but decals all look really, really good. Let's get into a bag. The plastic here feels pretty solid. We've got great detail, really nice recessed details, and everything is done evenly, and this is cool. So they have great recessed rivets and panel lines, but they properly recreated the raised rivets around the engine mounting. I don't see flash. See a couple ejector pin marks, but it's all on the interior where you're not going to see anything. So we've got rear fuselage halves, intake mountings and trunks, vertical stabilizer. I think these are flaps or these ailerons. I'm not sure. But air brakes, main gear, doors. Bottom of the fuselage. This is the centerline pylon. Not exactly sure what that is. Stabilators, intakes, burner nozzle. Oh, sorry, engine nozzle. This is the nose. These are the leading edge slats. We'll just position all the control surfaces, as we can. Wingtip rails, landing hook, forward gear. What are you right there? I'm not sure. Just not sure. The detail level on this is great, though. I mean, really nice. Light years beyond the old monogram kit, which is, I built 4 or 5 of them, but it's the only 1/48 scale F-20 I've built. It's a really nice control panel up there, the instrument panel. But I think, with the decals, will they match? They kind of will match all of the raised details. So we'll get it to set down really nice with some Solvaset and take advantage of all that. Some pretty fair detailing on the cockpit tub itself. Again, a little bit of flash around the forward fuselage halves. Got actuators for canopy open or closed. This is the gun panel where the guns stick out forward on the fuselage. Instrument combing. Nice detail on the inside of the cockpit as well. We've got wings and a big drop tank. Seat looks fairly well detailed. No straps or anything. We can make that ourselves. Another nose cone, crew ladder, more gear doors, flaps / ailerons. I'm just not sure which is which at this point. Lots of little bits, antennas, actuators. Oh, look at that. You have a choice of front landing gear with oleo. That's pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. I'll have to look into how that all works out, because very interesting. Let's take a look at all of our stores options here. We've got 2 sprues of AIM-9Ls and AIM-9 mics, and they're pretty good. Better than some. A little softer detail than some others, but pretty good actually for missiles in this scale. We've got 2 sprues of pylons and wing drop tanks, if that's what you want to use. Rails and rail adapters. Nice bit of detailing going on the rails and rail adapters. And then these 2 sprues, the bigger, chunkier body is the Sparrow AIM-7. And then you've got 2 of the, we already talked about, these are older AIM-120As, even though they say AIM-120Cs on the instructions. And they're actually, you know, they're not bad either. They have the separate electronics channeling and stuff, and pretty good. A little bit of flash and stuff to trim here, but nice missiles overall. They'll build in something pretty good for the airplane. Now, what are these little polycaps for? I didn't actually see in the instructions, so I'm going to go back real quick and check. So the polycaps can go into the lower wings, into these little recesses, and then you can choose to display it. You can just kind of plug your hard points in or remove them. And I guess that's what that piece we were looking at, weird long piece, and I said, I don't know what you are. Where is it again? Right here. It's right here is a cap for the center line there, so you can plug them in or display them without. Unfortunately, what you can't do is use the polycaps to allow you to place different ordnance loads on those specific hard points, which would be really cool if you could do that. But it does not look like that's what it lets you do. Oh well. And then you've got your photo etched fret, which just gives you some little details for some other pieces. And then finally, we've got our clear parts. Which are beautiful. Look at my fingers on there. Under there, no distortion at all. In the canopy, no center line that you have to work with. Under the windscreen, no distortion at all. Again, no center line to work with. You've got a very small HUD, but okay, and then you've got some other lenses for lights, but beautifully crystal clear canopy. Still give it a dip in future, and a little polish though, but they are gorgeous, clear pieces with just enough raised texture to help you with the masking perfectly. They'll work out great. So I cannot wait to put this kit together. This is going to be... I've wanted to build this. I can't tell you how long I've wanted to build this. And I know I have a problem with moving from one project to another. I know I've got things already in the works. And it is going to kill me to have to wait to work on this until I get a couple other things done. I've got the M247, which I've already had, you know, one viewer asked me when are you gonna be working on that. I've got other stuff that, you know, I won't even list them all, but there are projects that are half done that need to get finished. I can't wait to build this, and then after this, we've got other things from Area-88. Like I said though, it's a really great, if you haven't seen the series, check out the link in the video description. if you're into aircraft, and you, I mean, it's a really cool kind of different kind of thing. It won't disappoint you. So I can only hope that you guys are even half as excited about putting this together as I am. And if we like doing this, like I said, Shin also flies an F-8 Crusader. He flies a Draken at one point, not in the TV show, but in the manga. They have an F-14 Tomcat flown by one of the American pilots. They have an A-4 Skyhawk flown by another pilot. I mean, there's lots of different aircraft. So we're just starting with this one. So excellent quality, though. Excellent quality kit. And, you know, if you like this, you'll probably like the Freedom Models kit. And Freedom Models also has an air-to-ground version of the F-120 kit that they put out. That probably comes with all air-to-ground ordnance and everything. So that will be exciting. I'll probably pick up one of those kits too real soon, because I love the F-20. What an overlooked aircraft that could have had a great service history with the Air Force and other air arms around the world too. But anyway, thanks guys for joining me for this unboxing. We will see this very soon. I promise, very soon. I can't resist working on this thing, but we just gotta wait for a couple other things to get done. So everybody out there, keep building, build them well, and we'll get to this guy real shortly.